What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another Sister Wives video, and this one right here is season 2, episode 6. Yes, I'm confident it's episode 6. But without no further ado, let's not waste any more time and let's get into this one.
An unspoken rule about this subject: if something were to happen to one of us, I would take another wife's children and raise them. It's a given to me that I would take them.
Okay. This is interesting because obviously in today's world, well, not today. In any other relationship, you know, a monogamous relationship, if someone was to pass away, if the mother or the father was to pass away, well then, and obviously there was no longer any mother or father around in general, usually the child would be passed down to another family member who's suitable. If there isn't another family member that's suitable, well then the child would go to wherever the system wants to put that child, right? But obviously in a polygamous relationship, the good thing is that if one of the mums was to pass away, sadly, one of the other mums can then step up to be the mum anyway. And the good thing about it is that she already is the mum. Do you see what I'm saying? So I like that approach, to be honest. I really like that approach, to be fair. That's actually really, that's a positive of being a part of a relationship, you know what I mean? But given the fact that your kids do get along with any one of the other mums, or all of the mums, shall I say, but
they're my kids too. Hi. In a society that doesn't have a family structure like ours does, if both parents are not there anymore, they go to a sister or a grandma. I guess that's one of
Yeah. No, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, man, like, yo, maybe if I have kids, maybe I'll do in a polygamous relationship. I don't know if that makes any sense, to be fair with you. That doesn't make any sense. It's man, but it's a shame when a child loses parents and then the child gets put in an orphanage or something like that. You know, it's definitely not one of the best scenarios for any child. So this is actually a really good scenario for a child, you know, if something sad was to happen, you know.
the built-in things for us is that we have other mothers in the family who would step in and take those children. For me, with my kids, if something were to happen to me, it'd get a little bit more complicated because they have a biological father besides Janelle, Christine, Meri, and Kody and I. And so it would get
that is a strong point there, isn't it? Because obviously, yeah, because they got a biological father. But didn't Kody adopt Robyn's kids though? You see, this is where it gets a little bit confusing, because obviously yesterday I learned that ROBYN came from a monogamous relationship, but the relationship was meant to be polygamous. But also she came from a polygamous family, and this, or everything that I'm saying, this is based on what I reacted to yesterday, but also what you guys updated me on the comment section as well. And I must say thank you for everyone that does correct certain things or update me on certain things, you know what I mean? But so correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Kody adopt Robyn's children? That's what I was told by like subscribers on the other channel, you know, when I first started, you know, reacting to Sister Wives back in season 16. Because if Kody's now adopted them, then I guess the father doesn't have he doesn't have a role, right? Maybe being biological still plays a factor, to be fair with you. But then again though, maybe the children hadn't been adopted at this point. And now I'm starting to think maybe they just wasn't adopted at all. Oh, god damn, man. It's crazy though, because people say, hey man, like, it's clear you didn't do any research. I mean, listen, this is my research. Like, watching the show for what it is, just like everybody else did when it first started, and we're just learning as we go along based on what they show us. That's how I want to learn, do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Kody adopt the children? But I guess, again though, even though if they're adopted, the biological father will still have a play, wouldn't it, regardless? Interesting. But then there's the flip side. The thing is, from what I understand, again, correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, do you know what? Let me ask you a question instead. Does Robyn's ex-husband have a role in his kid's life though that he had with Robyn? From what I understand, he's already cooped up with someone else, and they've got a whole new situation going on. But the thing is, has he actually been a father to his children that he had with Robyn though? That is the other question. If he's obviously been a father in the background, of course not on the show, alright, cool, makes a lot of sense. But if he hasn't really been a father, and the father has been Kody, and the family has been the other wives, well then it's a no-brainer. But I get it in terms of how you have to go through the process correctly, and I completely get that. But hey, man, it's a bit of a complicated one, isn't it? It's a bit of a tricky one. Anyway, let me know in the comment section if there's anything that I've kind of fumbled up or miscommunicated myself or whatever. Interesting stuff. Yeah. Anyway, let's get into it.
I don't know what's going to happen in a situation like this.
We'll let you know if you get to come in the room or not.
All right. Meri and I never really discussed what would happen if she had cancer.
It really,
You know, to be fair, is that a conversation that maybe people should have more of, like when you're in a relationship with someone? It's just that obviously as I watch it, obviously, you know, they're going for this episode and whatnot with Meri's sister, and then obviously now Meri's going to get a checkup herself in particular. And I do wonder, like, I mean, I guess it's not really an easy conversation to have with someone at any point, you know what I mean? Of saying, oh, what would we do if this happened to one of us? I guess the conversation doesn't have to be around cancer, something particular. You know, I guess the conversation can just be around, generally speaking, you know, what is the contingency plan if something was to happen to us that was tragic? You know what I mean? What would we do for the kids, all that kind of stuff. And I guess, to be fair, that is a conversation that some people do have, but I feel like in today's society, it's probably a conversations that is probably avoided, because in today's society, any kind of conversation that's seen as dark, too personal, too touchy, or whatever, is always like, no, we can't talk about that. You know what I mean? Because we live in a very interesting world now. But yeah, at the end of the day, you know, I feel like we should definitely have conversations with our loved ones about plans, you know? Definitely. But then there's times when our loved ones will secretly go and get checked and they won't even tell us. Life, man. They never said it was going to be easy, hey? Sorry, let me not kiss my teeth. Yeah, or tart.
Separately from everybody else. I don't live in the big house. And so they're all over there kind of having a good time together, and sometimes I feel lonely.
Sometimes we're all having a good time together. Sometimes we're all separate too.
Woo! Christine came in. Yeah, sometimes we all suffer too. You see that little jab right there. That jab right there. I mean, listen, I said it yesterday and I'll say it again, man. Listen, I said it in my chest. I'll back up exactly what I'm saying again. For me, myself in particular, I know some people, you know, commented and they were like, yeah, nah, man. Like, listen, I said it yesterday that Christine already had an agenda against ROBYN, point blank period, you know. At the end of the day, in season 1, okay, something I said yesterday as well was that she made it clear that she always wanted to be the third and final wife. She said that, you know, in season 1. And therefore, she wasn't happy to find out that she was no longer going to be that third final wife. There was going to be a fourth wife, and there's going to be a final wife. Oh, well, no, I say final. There's going to be a fourth wife, which obviously at this time is the final wife, right? Obviously, like I said, you know, if you got a plan that you've been thinking about forever, or, you know, like, if this is what she wanted for so long, she got it. To have that taken away from you can definitely do a little bit of damage to yourself. It can hurt, it can sting, you know? I mean, end of the day, for me personally, you know, I definitely don't want to jump on this train of it's always been ROBYN's fault, because again, I've got an opportunity now, and I guess even people who are watching this with me now as well, who haven't watched the previous seasons, to get our own point of views now, our own, you know, point of views of exactly how things actually went down with the wives and Kody, you know. I mean, listen, end of the day, Kody would have definitely dropped the ball at some point, you know, and completely ruined it for himself anyway, regardless, because he's supposed to be the man of the house and he's supposed to keep everyone in check, pretty much, to be honest with you. Obviously in a respectful manner, of course, but obviously he didn't do that, you know. He obviously ended up slipping and siding more towards, you know, ROBYN than the rest of the wives, which it's unfortunate. But at the same time, I think, despite the fact that we didn't know actually despite the fact that we had no idea how the family was before they even started filming, when it was just Meri, Christine, and Janelle, you know, I can say personally, just out of like an assumption, maybe even common sense, that there was probably already issues with Meri anyways. I think the Meri thing was always kind of prone to happen. The Janelle thing was a bit of a sticky one, to be honest with you, because where Janelle was married to him, but also her mother was also married to... That was an interesting one, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, personally, just these little jabs here, you got to point them out. And you know, little things like these little subliminals that Christine was making the last, well, every other episode, shall I say. And in this one itself, ooh, slick. But here's the thing though, you know, there is the potential where ROBYN came into this marriage because she came from a polygamous family, shall I say. And she was meant to be in a polygamous relationship, but that didn't happen. And she's in one now. And it just doesn't make sense to me why she would go into a polygamous relationship knowing that she's always wanted to be in one, with the intentions of actually potentially trying to tarnish it or ruin it for the others. It just doesn't really make sense, you know. But at the end of the day, if ROBYN's come in and Kody's taken a liking to her more than the rest, well then that's really... Can we really put all that down to ROBYN, you know? Because it's Kody who's the one who's made the choice to have more than one wife. When you choose to have more than one wife based on your reasons or whatever, you have a responsibility to look after every single one of them, make them all for equal. But obviously, if he's been like, listen, man, I'm done with the old. I'm in with the new. And it's crazy because that's how men can think sometimes. Sometimes men can be like, listen, man, I'm done with the old, man. I want the new thing. That's why I guess, you know, we live in a world where there are women in this world who are paranoid that their man may leave them for a younger female because she's younger, she's new, she's da 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 da. So there is that concept, to be fair, that could be a possibility of why Kody in the end decided to be more really into ROBYN. Do you know what I mean? It may not necessarily because ROBYN did anything. But either way though, man, the subliminal there, well not the subliminal, but the direct shot right there by Christine to ROBYN. I love it though. I do love it. But again, I still feel like she was I still feel like she was really pushing herself out, to be fair, you know. Rather than focus on what ROBYN's doing and Kody's doing together, she just focus on what you're doing when you're with Kody, right? But also at the same time, let's not forget though, you know, as a man, I'll say this as a man, if you're used to your woman complaining all the time about something, you become numb to it and then it becomes nothing. Christine's someone that has voiced herself and her unhappiness for time and time again. And to be honest with you, Kody would have definitely known about it. There's no way you can deny not knowing about it. It's just a matter of where he would become completely numb about it because, well, you're complaining, but you're still here. And it's crazy because obviously in the most recent episode of season 17, there is that conversation, isn't there? You know, with all of them. And, you know, it's crazy how they didn't actually reference this part. They reference something completely different. It's crazy because everything that they're doing now is quite contradictory to what happened back in season 2, if you know what I mean. You know, and obviously in that one there, what she said, Christine kept talking about, oh man. I mean, Kody denied the fact that he was unaware of the fact that his relationship with Christine wasn't as bad as it was. He's an idiot for that, you know. He knew it. He was just numb to it. There's a fine line. There's a difference. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, let me continue, man, because I've kind of lost my point now, to be honest with you. I had it in my head. I forgot what happened now. I was going to make a comparison, but it's gone out of my bloody head. Anyway, do you know what it is? I'll tell you why I've actually lost my train of thought. It's because, you see, as I'm talking, I'm looking at the screen while it's paused. And when you look at the screen, you see how there's so much clutter around the kitchen. And honestly, this is a phrase that I actually live by. If you walk into a room and it's messy, you're going to forget why you was there in the first place. So I'm out here trying to talk and thinking about what I'm saying, but I'm looking at that at the same time. It's made me forget exactly my train of thought, to be honest with you. That's it's not an excuse, it's a fact. It's a fact, okay? let's get into it.
No, I'm not doing it. I can't. Okay, I'm just. I'll barf.
This is the question that I have for everyone who's an OG of Sister Wives. This is the question that I have. Who would you say that actually tried the hardest though to make it work? Would you say it was Christine that tried, or was it ROBYN that tried? You know, because I mean, I'm gonna say that from season 1 and season 2 so far, I'm under the impression from what I've seen so far that ROBYN is the one that's tried more to really try and you know, make things work, not just with Christine but with everyone. But in the situation here with just them two, I feel like ROBYN has tried or was trying at some point, but Christine already had this block in her mind. You know, I don't know. Listen, that's my observation of thus far. Of course, it's going to change as time goes by, of course, you know what I mean? As I always say, life is a walking contradiction, you know. But anyway, you guys let me know though, who do you think made the most effort? I mean, if you want to reference our seasons 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, whatever, and say, well, you can do that by all means necessary. But bear in mind, my answer to my question is based on season 1 and 2. Who do I think has made the most effort and really trying to make it work? And I'm going to say ROBYN. And to be fair, it should be ROBYN, to be fair, because ROBYN's new to the family, so she still needs to work her way in and get to know everybody. So it should be her regardless, right? If it's not her, then that's a problem for the family, you know. But again, like I said, my opinion is based on that. It's not based on anything. It's not based on season 16 or 17. Based on the first 2. So either way, though, if you want to base yours on all seasons, by all means, necessarily go for it. You know what I mean? But let me know. Let's get into it.
When Kody's not around, the flow goes better. It gets kind of tense when he's around because we're more careful about not hurting each other's feelings and not stepping on each other's toes. And
it's interesting because ROBYN's picking out certain things that well, let me just play a little bit more.
Not showing him too much affection. You know, you can get jealousy. He's maybe giving someone more attention than the rest. Kody, what do you think? 3 separate tables or 1 big table?
It's interesting because obviously, you know, it goes back to what I'm saying before about ROBYN. ROBYN's obviously been observing the situation. ROBYN obviously how she's going to get herself involved. And obviously, you know, she even observes, you know, being careful with attention and all that kind of stuff. Now, of course, that stuff has obviously gone out the window come season 16, season 17. But the observation was there. We could say the observation was there for her to potentially stay away from all the other wives. We could say that. But the fact that she was aware of it and cautious of it, and she played towards it, means that she was open to not trying. It means that she definitely wasn't trying to step on anyone's toe. But that's just my opinion. But hey, let's continue.
But Robyn does. Meri and I have a really great relationship. Christine and I have a great relationship. It's like best buddies. Kody comes in. It no longer is Meri and I just focus on each other. It's like all of a sudden we're both focused on him.
That is very, very interesting that she says that her and Christine are like best buddies. That one is very interesting. To be honest with you, I don't even know what to say to that, to be honest with you. I didn't see that one coming. You know. But in terms of the Meri one, I did see it coming, of course, because if you fast forward to 2007, season 17, we've seen the division between, you know, Janelle and Christina got on one side, and then obviously it's now Meri and ROBYN on the other side. That's how obviously it's coming across now, isn't it? But it's interesting that Janelle's name wasn't even mentioned. But I'm gonna go off the whim and say that Janelle's name probably wasn't mentioned purely because Janelle was always working anyway, so maybe there was less time to connect with her. And I say because Christine was always looking after Janelle, the kids anyway, Janelle probably appreciates Christine a whole lot more because Christine done a lot for her children while she was out working. Let me know. But yeah.
It was a kind of polyp which, if not removed, might have gone on to become a cancer.
Okay.
Oh, really?
But the good news is we got it out, and we got it out completely.
What?
That's it. Congratulations. No cancer right there for Meri, man. But I guess you already knew that. But hey, that's the end of that episode there, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know exactly what you're thinking down below in the comment section, and we'll most certainly talk about it. But hey, man, don't forget to like, subscribe, and peace.